All
What's
right.
happening, my brother?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm good. It's good to have you here, man, to talk about this brand new EP. Like, obviously, you're moving like the king of R&B in the UK right about now. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right things.
Wow. That's big, man. Thank you, my brother. I love that, man.
Nah,
love
no
that.
worries. Like, you dropped quite a few songs and projects over the last couple of years, and I feel like you're getting more soulful. They're more cohesive every single time. So, how was the reception and the love been for the tape that you just dropped?
Bro, it's been beautiful, man. It has been. This one I felt a little bit more. I can't say pressure, but I feel like I didn't want to disappoint because it'd been such a long time. Because I had plans of doing it a bit earlier, and then I had an issue with my throat at one point where I think I was I got a bit ill. Okay. And then I tried to rush back to singing. You see what I'm saying? And it just didn't do me any favors, man. So I had to obviously extend or prolong it. Yeah. But we finally got there. But yeah, I feel amazing, man. The response has been beautiful. Some of the things I've been seeing has been crazy, man. I'm just grateful, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're in that season. We're in that season right now. Obviously, everyone calls it coughing season. It's getting cold. This year, you know, if you had your thing, hopefully it's from 2019 because I don't think it's from 2020 because ain't no one trying to leave bubbles in households. You know what I want? But like, obviously, as you're making the music, like, who is this really trying to appeal to? Because obviously, you got the band that listen to it. Like, for me, I'm just thinking to myself on points, right? Is Kaleem all right? You know, it was. They're singing, they're anguish, they're pain in the voice. I'm just like, right, this ain't for me. This ain't directed at me. This is directed for the girls and that. But when you're writing the songs, recording, performing, like, who are you mainly trying to aim the music to?
I feel like it's to men and women, I would say, because, excuse me, maybe the subject matter is I feel like it's things that people go through. Yeah. So whether I'm talking about how women's made me feel, it's still something that men might relate to because I'm a man. Like, I know I'm only speaking on how I feel. So as much as it might be sounding like maybe these melodies or trying to sound I don't know, appealing to women, I feel like it's for everyone, man. Like, some of the messages that I've received, some people have been saying about they want to message their ex again, or their girl left them and they're trying to work it out, and you know, so it's for everyone, man. I never really think of it as like I'm trying to
make for a demographic.
I'm not really trying to do that. I'm just trying to hopefully be honest enough to the point that people are going to say, oh, I relate to that.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to lie, I'm worried though, because if some people are trying to message their ex, and if it goes right, they salute you. If it goes wrong, they come at you. You know what's there? So
you can't come at me, man. You can't come at me. I'm just providing the music, man.
Trust me,
what I mean?
Like, so obviously earlier on you mentioned, you know, there was an issue with your throat, and then you rushed yourself back, and it wasn't the greatest thing to do. Obviously, I'm assuming now you're fine, which is good. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Was that just at the start of lockdown, or was that at the top of the year? When was that?
I think it was about, I'm gonna say, like, I'll say about January kind of time. Okay. Or just before that, maybe. Just before that, I think. Just before that, I started to feel something. But then I'm so stubborn. Like, it's like, I have to, like, I'm going against what I'm feeling. I'm saying, let me just get it done. Like, I set myself a goal. I've told people a time, or I've told people a date or whatever. So let me just do it. And it just didn't make any sense, man. You should never really rush anything, because the sooner you do it, the sooner it's gonna fall. You know what I mean? So
for real,
I rushed into it, and yeah, my throat I think it just said you've got to slow down. So whether I wanted to or not, it forced me to say, look, relax. So I had to take these few months to just to get it right, and without sounding insensitive right now. This lockdown, COVID madness, whatever you want to call it, kind of came at a decent time for me, without sounding insensitive, and prayers to anyone who's struggling. But it forced me to just sit down and just think and work things out. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's an important time, because like I had the same kind of mindset. Like, I was working a lot, and then lockdown happened, and then it kind of gave you time to go back to the drawing board. What works for you? What can you do better? Actually, like school, you know, what went well, even better if, you know, there was the old school, you know, there was there. Like, I just did that for like a couple of months. But I mean, for you, like it's good because music at the start, or say from like March to maybe like July, people are not as receptive towards it. Like, it's still going out, people are still listening to it, but I don't know if those songs are going to be remembered. So coming out with autumn, winter season, and kind of, you know, saying, I'm back. This is it's like, what, 7 tracks on this EP? Like 21 minutes?
Seven, yeah.
Yeah, so like something like short, quite like, it's just bite size really, to get people, you know, in and build the momentum for next year. I think that's a good look to have.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I'm not even going to put that down to some like mad science or nothing. It wasn't like super strategic or nothing. It was just, I guess that's just how it worked out. It's just, I guess, trust in the universe. It just worked out at that time. But I don't feel like we're in a time anymore where people want to hear so much music. No one really wants to sit down for, even now when you can't really do too much. People don't really want to sit down for an hour and a half and listen to a project, because I feel like even if they do, some of it's going to get missed, or, do you know what I mean? I feel like it's easier to digest when it's concise and just kind of straight to the point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the thinking behind it.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense, because if it's like, for example, your music is obviously very soulful, quite stripped back, laid back and relaxed. So this would be perfect at like a gig, which I'm sure you probably had something planned for. Yeah. So when that starts again, well, I was going to say next year, when that starts again, yeah, because we don't know when it's going to start. But when that starts, like, it's true, you want to have something small, because some people be dropping like 50 track projects, yeah. And I'm not saying Chris Brown before anyone says it. Yeah? Like, and by track 13, you don't know what's going on at this point. I'm just like, all right, cool. And like you said, you miss things. But so then going into, as we go into next year, things that you kind of have taken for yourself and you've learned from this year, what's your goal? What's your plan just for next year as a whole? We don't know what's going to go on in the world, but what's your plan?
Of course. My plan for next year, well, I say this every time and it sounds like a generic answer, but it's not. I truly mean this. But my plan every day even is to progress in it. So slow progress over no progress is my thing. Mm-hmm. So definitely that. And for me, the only way I'm going to progress is by making this music and continuing to hopefully step it up every time I put a project out. So I'm working on this album right now, and that's a big deal for me, because I feel like people have wanted to hear features and stuff like that before, and people want to know more about who I am. So I feel like this is the opportunity to do so. You know what I mean? So that's my plan for next year. Obviously, I would like to say an amount of shows and where I want to be and who I want to be working with, but obviously you know the vibe already, and it's a bit crazy right now. But ideally, the things that are in my control are the music. So I'm going to make sure that by next year, I have this album that I can clearly show an improvement on, and hopefully give a better understanding to the people who show me love. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that you picked up on, is the fans and the audience wanting to know a lot more about you, more personal experiences. Because right now, for some people listening, because what you're singing about is, it could, because you're not directly saying you as a person, it's more of an oversight as a whole. There are people that are going to want to hear about your heartbreaks from young to now. Do you know what I mean? So like, the question is, how much are you willing to give away to the fans?
No, I'm gonna be completely honest. Every song I've made so far is personal. Like I make it a thing to make sure that it's personal. And I'm not saying it's wrong if someone writes some music for you, or it's wrong to get some help on whatever. It's not wrong. It's just, for me, I feel like it needs to be from that real place, so that when people ask me questions about it, or say I'm at a show, for example, and someone says, what did this song mean to you? I can clearly explain, and I can give you an example of when it's happened to me. So then we can then have a conversation and say, oh yeah, I remember when I felt like this, and this is how it felt. Do you know what I mean? So every single song has been about some things I've been through. Maybe I haven't said the names, which I'm not going to do.
No, you can't.
Can't do that. Can't be that open. But every single thing is something that I've been through, and it has to be that way for me.
I think that's true. That is true, because I think sometimes fans just want the whole thing. They want the vibe, want the names, they want receipts, they want everything. And it's like, yo, guys, I'm not trying to be in multiple court cases. Do you know what I mean? Just set up for one day. Every single person's coming through suing me for like something bad that I said on the song. Like, it's always one-sided. Do you know what I mean? Making it like some sort of drama. But with features, obviously, for a lot of the songs that you put out, you know, it's very much solo. You hold the record by yourself very well. There aren't lapses in the songs as a whole, but who are the people that you want to kind of work with and connect with to help push the Kaleem Taylor sound even wider than it already has or is?
There's a few names that I don't want to sound like trying to be too cryptic, or I'm trying to keep the mystique or nothing like that. But I wouldn't want to say the exact names I'm gonna work with, because I want to make it a thing when it does happen. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's working with this guy, or he's working with this woman, or do you know what I mean? I want it to be like a surprise. Or I just want to hold back on that. But
yeah.
In terms of some of the people that I look at now and I think are incredible, I mean, in an ideal world, I'd love to make a song with Lucky Day. I'd love to make a song with her. I'd love to make a song with Brandy. I'd love to make a song with all these people. But for me right now, there are some people that I've conversed with, spoken with, and we've come to a point where we're going to make some music. But I'm just going to hold back on some of the names. And me saying those first names wasn't like some indication that these are the people I'm working with, by the way, before anyone gets a bit tired. I don't know these people like that, but do you know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah,
go on, sorry.
No. I was just saying there's a few, but we just hold back a little bit.
Yeah, well, listen.
Let me say that. So the people I said, the names I just said, are people I would love to work with. But for my project, we'll just have to wait and see what the vibe is. Listen,
if obviously that was very cryptic, moving like Da Vinci Code of the answer, yeah. But if I do see the names on there, then I'll be like, well, that's a bit mad still, but it's a very good look. But like you said, they ain't on there. They're just people that you like to work with in the future.
They're not on there, but we keep putting in this work, and hopefully one day some of those would be amazing, because they're all incredible.
Yeah, you know? with dreams and aspirations though, because obviously as everybody always wants to work with somebody else, and then so even the people at the very, very top, they're people that still want to work with people who are maybe below them or on their level. Like, where do you see yourself in the R&B landscape, soul landscape in the UK and internationally? Like, who are some of the peers that you're kind of constantly talking to and see yourselves on that kind of level, if you see it like that at all?
That is a good question, but me personally, I try not to look at things like that, really. As cliche as it sounds, I feel like you do what you do the best you can. Like, there's just something that you have that you do. If you believe in yourself and stick to what you do, you're going to be the best at that. So if I was to answer the question, I could say I'm the best because I do what I do.
Yeah.
You know? And each person is the best at what they do. So I don't really see no levels of anything or who's who. Yeah, obviously some people have more fans or people are known more or whatever. But ideally, you just want to look at it as music. You know, there is no level to it. That's why people can message me on Instagram. Some of the people who are on my project now, these are people that randomly message me and they've got 200 followers on Instagram, but just said, could you listen to the music? And of course I'm going to listen to it, because the amount of followers you have doesn't determine whether you make good music or not, because I know a lot of people who are in a great position and I'm not too keen or too fond of their music, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So I don't really see the levels of it. I just say, I'm just going to keep working. And my level is based on the people that support me and show me love.
Yeah,
that's it, really.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's the way it should be, and I wish the world worked like that. Or the world that we both, you know, inhabit. Because to be honest, at the moment, you know, if people are driven at numbers and they're driven at, you know, Instagram first, and the quality seems to not be lacking across everybody, because that'd be madness, that'd be terrible. But there are a few people that kind of slip through the cracks and then they have like a moment. But I feel like someone like yourself, like who you haven't got 200 followers, but I'm just saying in general. But like, it's someone who's gonna keep rising and getting into the rooms with the people that you want. The people that we mentioned earlier. You know what I mean? Shout out Lucky Day. But that's the thing. Like with R&B as a whole, I feel like like with hip hop and like trap music and all that stuff, it feels very much like by the time you get to 30, like why you started? It's getting better, but it's at a time. Whereas with R&B, I feel like you can kind of, if you can sing and the high notes and all that can be, and the melodies are driven, you can jump in at any age. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you think about the state of R&B in 2020? We've had this comeback in the last couple of years. There are a lot of names that are staple household names. We've seen people like Ty Dolla $ign drop like a 25 song project, which was good. I'm not complaining about the length of it. Okay. But what do you think of the state of R&B in 2020?
I personally really like it. I feel like if you there's a lot of R&B that if you do enough looking, you're gonna find the R&B that you want to hear. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm completely like sold on everything, because sometimes I feel like there's a bit of a blurred line. It's a bit blurred because sometimes these R&B guys sound a bit like they're doing a hybrid type thing of like rapping and singing, and I'm personally not too keen on it. Even though I like some of the music, it's hard for me to clearly say, okay, you're R&B. Like R&B to me might be Brent Faiyaz. Like he clearly shows a distinction between singing and rapping, and I'm happy with versatility, but sometimes I just feel like it just gets a bit blurred. Yeah. But other than that, I'd say I'm very happy with the way R&B is right now. There's amazing artists making amazing music, some amazing production, and it feels good to be something that you're a part of, you know what I mean? And hopefully trying to take it to somewhere else, and people are constantly pushing and trying to come up with new sounds, and like Snow Allegra, Lucky Day, these people are incredible to me, you know? So I think it's a beautiful place. It's just, hopefully we can really get that distinction between R&B and this hybrid type rap stuff, which is fire. But for me, I just want to hear some R&B.
Yeah, I mean, your ears, like, you're an R&B purist. I think, and that's the thing, like, with your influences in the past, I'm assuming they were more R&B driven, you know what I mean? As opposed to the guys who are making, and females who are making, like, I'm going to call it R&T, R and trap for now. Yeah, I mean, people can define it at a later date, but they're probably more based on hip hop influences, and the singing kind of intertwines. So I think as we go through this decade, I think you're going to see more people like you and R&B purists who just like, you know, like the Brent Faiyaz type, and Snow Allegra, Lucky Day, BJ Chicago Kid, etc., etc. And then you'll get that sound, because that's what's popping at the moment. I don't think that's going to change for at least 2-3 years.
For sure, and I definitely I don't even want it to change. I want people to do their thing. Like, that's fine. Like, they ain't even got to listen to me. I'm just saying my preference. Like, I just like this R&B stuff, and I just think let's just keep making great music, man. To be honest, however it comes. But just for me, I just want to hear, like, you know, I want to hear, like, when I go to the show, I want to hear you sing live, and I really want to feel some emotion, and I just don't want to hear no bars from you right now. I want to hear you sing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be mad if you go like somewhere like Jazz Cafe, and someone's like open, like about to start singing, they just drop a beat and it's not rapping. It'd be mad.
I'm cool, you know what I mean? If I want, thing is, I love rap, I love hip hop, I love rap, like I love it. I just want to know that there's a difference between, that's all. Yeah. And it's the same for hip hop as well, because there is like a load of hip hop guys doing a load of melodies and all that, and I'm not complaining about it. I think some of it's fire. I just mean, it's like, it then creates this thing of like, what genre is this? Which is a great thing, but at the end of the day, it's going to get categorized. It's going to get put somewhere. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But I think with the talent pool and the access to like good equipment and stuff growing and opening all the time, you're going to get like bigger pools. So it's easy for you. I'm going to use Spotify just off the top of my head, but like, if you look at your name and you look at related artists, it's not going to be like Jacquees. You're probably not going to see him there. Do you know what I'm saying? But you're going to see someone maybe like Sinead Harnett. So if you're gonna see that, so I think it's not. I don't think it's always good to put things into boxes, because sometimes it limits you, innit? You can only live in the box. You can only exist in the box. But I don't mind the variety, because it's like you said, you're saying exactly the same thing as me, to be honest. Like, it's good to see. But what I wanted to say before we dip is, for all the fans who are supporting the record right now, and all the new fans who might, lock in from this interview onwards and stuff, what do you want to say to the people for what you've done this year, and how you're feeling, and how they should be feeling, but how they're feeling towards your music and stuff as well?
I honestly want to say thank you for showing me all this love, being so patient and understanding. And I hope that at least one of the records can resonate with you, and hopefully you can relate. Hopefully it will help you through something. Hopefully it'll make you reminisce or think about something that you had before. Something. I just want you to feel something. I feel like that's really important to me. So thank you, and I hope you can feel.
There you go. Listen, people, feel. That's it. That's the message. That is the message. But you know what it was, Kaleem? I appreciate you chatting to me today, man. It was actually interesting to chop it up. Obviously, I've been playing the music for a while, but it's good to talk in person. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, listen, thank you so much for having me, bro. I really appreciate it. This is good energy, man. I like it.